Someone in your life right now is not who you think they are. Not a stranger, not an enemy. Someone you trust. Someone you have defended in conversations they were never part of. Someone whose name you have spoken with certainty when people questioned them. Someone you would have bet on, and they already know something about you that you do not know about yourself yet. They know exactly how long your loyalty lasts. They know exactly what it takes to keep you convinced. And they have been using that knowledge quietly, efficiently, and without a single moment of guilt. If you are new here, hit the like button and subscribe. Because what this channel does is pull back the curtain on the forces running your life that you never knew existed. This video is one of those curtains, and once it comes down, you will not be able to put it back up. Here is the thing nobody wants to say out loud. Loyalty is not a two-way street. It never was. The idea that the people closest to you are loyal to you the way you are loyal to them is one of the most expensive assumptions a human being can make. And most people do not discover how expensive it was until the bill arrives. But this is not a video about betrayal, not exactly. Because the people who were never loyal to you, the ones who smiled at the right moments and said the right things and stood beside you in the photographs, most of them were not lying. They were doing something far more ancient, far more biological, and far more difficult to protect yourself against than a simple lie. They were surviving. And you were a resource. Go back. 200,000 years ago. Your ancestors did not have the luxury of loyalty as a moral value. Loyalty was a survival calculation made fresh every single day. Who feeds me? Who protects me? Who makes me stronger? Who makes me weaker? Ancient humans who attached themselves permanently and unconditionally to one person or one group, regardless of what that person or group offered them in return, those humans died. Evolution did not reward blind loyalty. It rewarded accurate loyalty. The ability to read a situation, assess what a relationship was actually offering, and realign accordingly. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at Oxford University, the same researcher who identified that humans can only maintain roughly 150 meaningful relationships at once, found something equally important buried in his data. Within that circle of 150, humans naturally and unconsciously rank their relationships by utility. Not by love, not by history, by what the relationship is currently providing. And that ranking shifts, constantly, without announcement. The person who was your closest ally last year and your distant acquaintance this year did not betray you. Their ranking system updated. And yours updated too. You just did not notice yours doing it. Psychologist Robert Cialdini spent decades studying the mechanics of influence and social behavior. His research revealed a principle he called social proof, the human tendency to look at what the people around us are doing and doing as they do, and to align our behavior with whoever holds the most perceived value in our immediate social environment. In plain English, people follow strength. People align with whoever looks like they are winning, not because they are malicious, because their nervous system is executing a 200,000-year-old survival program that says, attach yourself to the strongest signal in the room. When you were the strongest signal, they were loyal. When you stopped being the strongest signal, they recalibrated. And they did it so smoothly, so naturally, so without drama, that you did not even see it happen. You just noticed one day that the calls were shorter. The energy was different. The eye contact had changed. That is not betrayal. That is biology. And here is where everything you thought you understood about this gets turned completely upside down. Because here is the conflict. Here is the thing that should stop you cold. You have done this too. Not once. Many times. To people who trusted you the way you trusted the people you are thinking about right now. You have recalibrated. You have let calls go unanswered. You have slowly redirected your energy toward whoever or whatever was offering more in that season of your life. You did not plan it. You did not announce it. You did not even fully notice it was happening. But it happened. And the person on the other end of that relationship noticed the same thing you are noticing right now: the shorter calls, the different energy, the changed eye contact. Loyalty as a fixed, permanent, unconditional state does not exist in nature. Never did. What exists instead is conditional alignment, a continuous, mostly unconscious recalculation of who and what deserves your time, your energy, your protection, and your trust based on what is being returned. Every person in your life is running this calculation right now, including you, including the people you are absolutely certain about. Now here is the comeback, and this is the part that changes how you move for the rest of your life. Evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers at Rutgers University developed what he called Reciprocal Altruism Theory in 1971. The idea is precise and devastating. He showed that cooperation between unrelated individuals, loyalty, in common language, only persists over time when both parties are receiving roughly equivalent value from the exchange. The moment the exchange becomes significantly unequal, the party receiving less begins to unconsciously withdraw, not out of malice, out of a deep biological drive toward fairness that is older than language, older than culture, older than any moral framework any civilization has ever constructed. What this means is simple and shattering. The people in your life who have been quietly, consistently receiving more than they give will always eventually pull back. Not when they stop caring about you. Not when something happens to change how they feel. They will pull back the moment a better offer arrives, because the exchange was never equal. And they always knew it, even if you did not. And the people who have been genuinely, consistently giving more than they receive, the ones you may have taken for granted, the ones whose loyalty you assumed so completely that you stopped tending to it, those people are approaching a threshold you do not want them to cross. Because when genuinely loyal people finally stop being loyal, they do not do it loudly. They do it completely. And they rarely come back. Researcher Judith Duncombe at the University of Essex spent years studying what she called emotional labor, the invisible, unacknowledged work of maintaining relationships. Her findings revealed something that should make every person reconsider at least one relationship in their life immediately. The people most likely to be perceived as loyal and reliable were almost always the ones doing the most invisible emotional work. The ones keeping track of what mattered to you. The ones reaching out first. The ones holding the relationship together with no acknowledgement and no reciprocation. And those people, she found, have a limit. They are not infinitely patient. They are just quieter about running out than everyone else. Here is what you do with all of this. You stop auditing other people's loyalty and start auditing your own behavior. Not as a moral exercise, as a strategic one. You look honestly at every significant relationship in your life and ask, what is the actual exchange happening here? Not the exchange you assumed, not the exchange you intended. The exchange that is actually occurring right now, measured in time, energy, attention, and presence. Some of what you find will surprise you. Some of the people you doubted are offering more than you noticed. And some of the people you were certain about are offering almost nothing, and have been for longer than you want to admit. The ancient humans who survived were not the ones who trusted everyone, and they were not the ones who trusted no one. They were the ones who could read a situation accurately, who could see an alliance for what it was rather than what they wished it to be, who understood that loyalty is not a declaration. It is a pattern of behavior measured over time under pressure. Declarations are cheap. Patterns are everything. You already know who in your life shows up when the situation is convenient and disappears when it costs something. You have known for a while. You just did not want to name it because naming it makes it real. And making it real means you have to decide what to do about it. Name it now. Not to punish anyone. Not out of bitterness. But because you cannot build anything real on a foundation you refuse to look at clearly. The people worth your unconditional energy are rare. They exist, But you will never find them while you are spending that energy maintaining relationships that have been quietly running on empty for years. They were never loyal. You just were not watching, but you are watching now. And if this landed somewhere real in you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Not to start a conversation about someone specific, just to give someone the same clarity you just received. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing the hidden architecture of the world you are actually living in. Because there is so much more beneath the surface. They were never loyal. But now you know what loyalty actually looks like. And that is the only thing that changes everything.